Level 1. The Borrowed Throne. You were born in the winter of 69 BC in Alexandria, a city your family built but does not belong to. You are Greek, your blood is Macedonian, the people you will rule are Egyptian. The Ptolemaic dynasty has held this throne for 2.5 centuries, and in that time not one of your ancestors bothered to learn the language of the land they govern. The palace smells of incense and rosewater and rot, political rot, the kind that seeps through marble. Your father, Ptolemy XII, they call him Alitz, the flute player, not a title of respect. He plays music while Rome circles Egypt like a vulture over a limping animal. You are the third of 5 children, and no one expects you to rule. Remember that. Remember what it feels like to be underestimated. It will become your greatest weapon. Level 2. The Sister's Head. You are 11. Your father has been driven from his own throne. The Alexandrian mob, sick of Roman taxes funneled through a puppet king, throws him out. He flees to Rome to beg for soldiers. In his absence, your older sister, Berenice IV, takes the crown. She rules for 3 years, competent, decisive. In 55 BC, your father returns with 10,000 Roman soldiers bought with borrowed gold. Gabinius marches them through the desert. Berenice is captured. Your father does not hesitate. He orders her execution. Your own sister. You watch the court rearrange itself around the new reality in the space of an afternoon. Courtiers who swore loyalty to Berenice kneel before your father as though nothing happened. You are 14, and you learn the first lesson that will define your life. A throne is not inherited, it is taken, and everyone around it is performing. Level 3. 9 tongues. You are 16. While your father drinks and plays his flute and slides deeper into debt, you study. Not poetry, languages. You learn Egyptian, the first Ptolemy in 250 years to speak the language of the people. You learn Ethiopian, Hebrew, Aramaic, Arabic, Median, Parthian, Latin, 9 tongues in total, according to Plutarch. Each one a door, each door a room where people will trust you because you addressed them in their own words. You understand something no one in your family has grasped. Egypt cannot survive on military force. It does not have enough. It must survive on intelligence, on the precise application of charm, deployed like a blade. Level 4. The Boy King. You are 18. Your father dies in the spring of 51 BC. His will names you co-ruler alongside your younger brother, Ptolemy XIII. He is 10 years old, a child, but a child with advisors. Pothinus the eunuch, Achilles the general, Theodotus the rhetorician. 3 men who see you not as queen, but as obstacle. For 2 years you maneuver. You place your name before your brothers on official documents. You mint coins with your face alone. In 48 BC, they push back. Pothinus stages a coup. You are stripped of power and driven from Alexandria into the eastern desert with nothing but a small retinue. You are 21. A deposed queen in a military camp near Pelusium, scraping together mercenaries. The palace is 200 miles away. Between you and it sits your brother's army. And then the world shifts. A Roman civil war spills onto your shore. Level 5. The Carpet. You are 21. Pompey the Great, fleeing Julius Caesar after the disaster at Pharsalus, sails to Egypt seeking refuge. Your brother's advisors murder him on the beach as he steps from the boat. They cut off his head, pickle it in brine, a gift for Caesar, who arrives in Alexandria days later with 4,000 legionaries. They present the head. Caesar does not smile. Pompey was his rival, yes, also his son-in-law, also a Roman consul. You see the opening, but the palace is controlled by your brother's men. You cannot walk through the front door. So you have yourself rolled into a linen sack and carried into Caesar's private quarters by a single servant. When the cloth is unrolled, you step out. You are 21. He is 52. You do not beg, you present your case. By morning, you have his support. Not seduction alone, the ancient sources love that narrative. You offer him something no one else in Egypt can: competence, stability, and the grain reserves that feed Rome. Level 6, the drowning. You are 22. Pothinus refuses Caesar's ruling. Achillas marches 20,000 soldiers into Alexandria. For months, Caesar and his small force are besieged inside the palace district. Ships burn in the harbor. Warehouse stores near the great library catch fire. The fighting is street by street, rooftop by rooftop. Reinforcements arrive from Pergamum. The decisive battle comes at the Nile. Your brother's army breaks. Ptolemy 13 years old, flees in a boat overloaded with soldiers. It capsizes. He drowns, golden armor dragging him under. They find the body in the mud downstream. You are restored. Caesar places your youngest brother, Ptolemy 14, beside you as co-ruler. Another boy, another puppet. But this time, the hand behind the throne is yours. Level 7, the son of two worlds. You are 23. In June of 47 BC, you give birth to a son, Ptolemy 15, Philopator Philomator Caesar. The Alexandrians call him Caesarion, Little Caesar. You sail to Rome in 46 BC. Caesar installs you in a villa across the Tiber and places a golden statue of you in the temple of Venus Genetrix. Rome stares, Rome whispers, a foreign queen living across the river from the Senate. You know what you represent to Roman conservatives, everything they fear. Eastern decadence, monarchical ambition. But Caesar is dictator perpetuo, until he isn't. On the 15th of March, 44 BC, 23 senators drive their knives into him on the floor of the Senate. You are in Rome when it happens. Within weeks, you are gone. Back to Alexandria. Your brother, Ptolemy 14, dies shortly after. Poison, the sources suspect. Your hand, they imply. Caesarion, barely 3, becomes your co-ruler. Every alliance you built in Rome has turned to blood on a marble floor. You must start again. Grief is a luxury. Strategy is not. Level 8, the golden barge. You are 28. The Roman world has fractured. Octavian controls the west. Mark Antony controls the east. Antony summons you to Tarsus to answer for your loyalties. You do not arrive like a supplicant. You sail up the Cydnus River on a golden barge, purple sails, silver oars cutting the water in time with flutes. You recline beneath a canopy dressed as Aphrodite. Boys costumed as cupids fan you with ostrich feathers. The perfume reaches the shore before you do. Plutarch writes that the river itself seemed to carry you. Antony waits in the forum. The crowds leave him to see you. He is alone when you arrive. You invite him to dinner instead. He is a soldier, blunt, physical, easy to read. You are none of those things. Within months, you are lovers. Within a year, you bear him twins, Alexander Helios and Cleopatra Selene, sun and moon. You are not merely building an alliance, you are building a dynasty that bridges east and west.
Level 9, the Queen of Kings. You are 35. In the autumn of 34 BC, Antony stages the donations of Alexandria. In the great gymnasium before a roaring crowd, he seats you on a golden throne. He declares you Queen of Kings. Caesarion is proclaimed King of Kings, the legitimate heir of Julius Caesar. Your children by Antony receive vast territories: Armenia, Media, Cyrenaica, Syria. On paper, half the eastern Mediterranean belongs to your bloodline. In reality, you have just signed your death warrant. In Rome, Octavian reads these declarations aloud to the Senate. He frames Antony as a traitor enslaved by a foreign queen who gives Roman lands to Egyptian children. Propaganda, also effective. Octavian declares war, not on Antony, but on you. A foreign enemy is easier to rally against than a fellow Roman. Power given too publicly is power taken from the wrong people. You know what is coming. You prepare the fleet anyway. Level 11, the Burning Sea. You are 38. On the 2nd of September, 31 BC, the fleets collide at Actium, off the western coast of Greece. Antony commands the heavier ships. Octavian's admiral Agrippa commands the faster ones. The battle turns within hours. Antony's fleet is boxed in, set ablaze with firepots. You watch from your flagship at the rear. When the line breaks, you make a decision. You take your 60 ships and sail through the gap, south toward Egypt. Antony sees your purple sails pulling away. He abandons his fleet and follows in a single quinquereme. Behind him, 19,000 of his men surrender. History will say you fled. History will say he was a fool for following. The full truth is that you looked at the burning sea, calculated the odds, and decided Egypt mattered more than one battle. You were right about the math. You were wrong about the outcome. Level 12, the ASP. You are 39. Octavian's legions enter Egypt in the summer of 30 BC. Antony rides out to meet them. His cavalry defects. His infantry lays down its arms. A false report reaches him. You are dead. He drives his sword into his own stomach. He does not die immediately. They carry him to the mausoleum where you have barricaded yourself with your treasure. You haul him up through a window on ropes. He dies in your arms. You do not scream. You negotiate. You meet Octavian. You try to read him the way you read Caesar, the way you read Antony. He is 33, cold, immune. You understand finally that there is no deal to be made. He will parade you through Rome in chains. You will not allow it. On the 10th of August, 30 BC, you dress in your royal regalia. You eat a final meal of figs. When Octavian's guards break down the door, you are already dead on a golden couch, 2 handmaidens dying beside you. The ancient sources say an asp, an Egyptian cobra, smuggled in a basket of figs. The doctors find 2 faint puncture marks on your arm. You are 39 years old, the last pharaoh of Egypt. The Ptolemaic dynasty, 275 years old, dies with your breath. Egypt becomes a Roman province. It will not be independent again for nearly 2,000 years. Caesarion flees south. Octavian's men hunt him down and kill him. 2 Caesars is 1 too many. Your children by Antony survive. Cleopatra VII marries the king of Mauritania and names her own son Ptolemy. The bloodline persists, quietly, at the edge of an empire that consumed everything you built. You are not the most beautiful woman in the ancient world. Plutarch says so directly. You are the most intelligent, the most strategic, the most dangerous. You held the last independent kingdom of the Eastern Mediterranean together with language, diplomacy, and an iron will for 21 years against the greatest military power the world had ever seen. And now, see you in history.